Alright. Figure now is as good a time as any. Let's start the pre-stream stuff. Basically. Now you may be wondering what I'm doing. Well, I'm trying to make this thing look better so we can get a better little stream mask going on. So as you can see, I like to skin the people that we meet, the things that we meet, and turn them into little masks for us to use. I also wanted to talk about a couple things that I saw, which is very interesting. And also just one sort of self-promo thing. One, new videos out on my channel. Check the pinned message in chat. I'm gonna have a better system to eventually show what the latest thing is. I haven't set up any chat commands, so kinda haven't done that yet. I do have the bot set up, so like Nightbot. It's like there. It has work in progress grandpa commands, which you can see from the bottom. Please don't use them. They don't do anything. You might like it. It's just a small video, just to whet people's appetite, but also because my wife wanted it, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, you know. It's pretty good. I like it. It's fun. I also want to talk about an interesting little thing that I read. Elon Musk. Elon Ma. If you've ever seen his clone. But he said work from home was morally wrong. That's the biggest load of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. Okay? One, what morals does it impose on, right? Again, there is no moral issue. It's a logistical issue. Two, he's not being honest about the effects of the logistical issue on him. Yes. I always find people who hate on work from home don't actually realize what the hell it is that they want. Now, to be fair, some people do like the interaction. And that's fine. You can like the interaction. But the point of work from home is so that nobody forces the interaction on each other. That's a crazy, crazy concept, right? Being able to choose what works best for you. You might say, oh, work from home doesn't work best for anybody. But empirically, we don't know. Empirically, we know that that's not true. Microsoft, AI have done major studies on this, and they found that, yeah, work from home is actually perfectly fine. Turns out people are a lot more productive when you give them a space that is actually tuned to them. In a lot of ways, work from home is probably the best solution in a constantly overcrowded city. It's the only solution that people have in order to be able to work effectively. If work was the only thing that we cared about, why wouldn't we want to maximize efficiency? The problem is that some people really do think that they work better in a social environment, like a very, very social environment, without actually realizing that they may just enjoy the benefits of being social, right? On the other hand, some people actually are. God damn it, I cut off his arm. I guess that's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not fine. Just we go back. We run it back. Now, some people may just like the social aspect of it, which is fine, However, I would argue that that doesn't necessarily mean it's necessarily better for you. It just means that you like talking a lot to people, which is perfectly fine. I mean, that was the fun of the office for me too. While we could, it was fun to just talk to my coworkers and just hang out, pop a beer in the kitchen. Yes, we did pop a beer in the kitchen. It was like a startup. You have to understand, startups are a very different world culturally, up until they get large enough that they start to impose some old traditional values, which is very, very boring. And at which point everyone leaves. But yeah. To the people who like to be in the office, you may just prefer the sociality of it. Without necessarily understanding that, though, I think it's impossible to make an argument for or against. The problem is that a lot of people just feel like that they're more productive, and it's like, what does that mean? Like, what does that actually mean when you measure it? Well, it turns out the big companies have already measured it. They've measured it and found that to be completely false. For the most part, work from home is actually a very productive setting. And the thing is that they may be onto something in terms of like why they don't like working from home. They may not like to be 100% focused or productive or whatever. I mean, who really does, right? Nobody's meant to be 100% focused or kind of like, dead set on like working forever, right? However, to say that that's a flaw of working from home, when it's just the reality that we're not meant to work 24/7, it's a bit of a stretch. And for Elon Musk to go all the way into this is a moral crime, that's a stretch. If you really think about the amount of work that we do where it could be done, logistically, it is in the best interest, I think, for a lot of places, logistically, to really care about where people do work, right? Now, the problem is that it's also in the best interest monetarily for a lot of people as well. A lot of the reasons why people are against work from home is, fun fact, business, real estate investments. There's a lot of money in real estate. Like a lot. There's a staggering amount. If you think about how expensive homes are and how impossible it is for most people to afford a home, then you understand exactly what I'm saying. Yes. The only moral obligation that you have there is that a lot of people are going to be out of money on a risk that they took. In which case, we'd have to kind of answer the question of, okay, why is that risk my problem? That's a question that none of the pundits against work from home have been able to answer. Like, honestly, none of them have been able to answer, why does this affect me? I mean, it's your risk. You took the risk knowing that this would potentially not pan out. Right? It's not up to the government. It's not up to the people to, again, uphold the risk that these people took with real estate investments. The truth is, these things are very risky endeavors because of the high return value that they could potentially have, right? The problem, I think, is that a lot of people forgot that real estate is risky. I think people forgot that in a bubble, in a vacuum, they thought that, it's basically free money. We'll never not need real estate. And it's true. To a large extent, we'll never not need some sort of physical space, right? Think of food storage, for instance. You'll never not be able to rent out a place for food storage. Like, it's impossible. Because every place needs food. But food is a physical thing. You can't just have it on the internet. You have to store it somewhere. The problem is that they base all the decisions on the inevitability of it. That's wrong. You should probably never do that. I mean, everybody understands that there's risks. The problem is that those with the amount of funds able to take risks, they take risks doing it, going all the way into it. God damn it, I always forget to get this body. Never really understanding that if you don't hedge your risks, just because it's a near zero chance doesn't mean that it's zero. Okay? You will eventually hit that point where it's like, oh yeah, there's no money left because I spent it all on, pure investments on growth. And now my business is basically failing. This is all very high level business stuff. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, it's fine. Just come back in like 20 minutes when I'm done with the sick mask. Because we're starting at, actually no, we'll start at 150 sharp. 150 sharp today. We'll start a bit early. But yeah. It's crazy to me then that these people will just go ahead and say, oh, it's a moral failing for you to work from home. And blame essentially the people. Again, this is a very tried and true tactic. You may remember the whole GameStop thing, which, I mean, again, this is not financial advice. I literally don't care about the stock. I literally don't care. But the entire thing was an interesting case study, at least into the psychology of people and business people around risk. It's very interesting to see how the entire financial sector, the entire market, reacted against people basically saying, hey, you have all this risk set up. You're trying to do a very risky play. Well, then suffer for it. Right? Again, completely avoidable had they just decided not to play to such a risky position. But again, greed knows no bounds. Risk is a very abstract concept that's very hard to understand, obviously. But at the same time, it's also very easy to grasp in your mind. Risk is exactly what it is. You do something that has a high potential for return, but that can absolutely bankrupt you. Well, you better be prepared to be bankrupt with no recourse. That's how it is for everybody else on the lower tiers, right? We, the common people, don't really get much of an option in life. And so to hear somebody as rich as Elon Musk saying, hey, work from home is a moral failing, and you're all failing morality. And it's like, morality. It's like, dude, like, morality is things like don't murder people. Morality is things like don't harm people. Morality is things like, be kind to each other and be good to the world around you. Morality is not uphold my risk profile so that I can make at least some return for my investors and for myself so that I can pop out my 9th kid, right? There's a very, very different set of concerns when you talk about morality. And it frustrates me to no end. Because people like this are on soapboxes. Large, tall soapboxes. For some reason, a lot of people take their word as gospel. And I guarantee you, it's just one step, the first step of many, for a lot of people to start really trying to claw back the conveniences that they've given employees, that they've given the common person. I mean, they've already clawed back a lot of conveniences, such as, healthcare rights. You can't get an abortion in like Texas or something anymore. That's fucking nuts. That's absolutely nuts. If you're a woman in Texas, get the fuck out. Don't even sleep with people anymore. Just like get the fuck out, Or in Florida as well. Like just leave the country. I mean, there's no hope. There's literally no hope. But when people have these discussions on morality and trying to attribute all these other extra things to it and trying to push their values on it, they kind of miss the point heavily. I mean, there's obviously a core set of morality that like everybody probably should share. Like, don't just murder random people. I mean, it's kind of hard to justify murder nowadays, even if you came from a culture with like blood rights and like blood pacts and like blood revenge and stuff. It's very, very hard to. Simply because, there's so much more that we could do. There's so many different ways now, and like, we have the means to resolve things very differently now. Before, we didn't really have the means. I mean, if you're a caveman, what do you have? All you can do. This looks hilarious. Oh my god, I can't wait to make this a mask. The mask. All you can do as a caveman is just bonk someone over the head and go, blah, That's it. But as people, we have a bit more choices. But people pushing their moralities and saying like, oh, this is an immoral thing. It's how you sort of get that sort of slippery slope of like very strange set of values that are very disconnected from reality. Again, just work from home stuff. That's well studied. Microsoft, Google, AI have studied it. And they found that productivity actually goes up. But managers literally, they just don't know. It's just managers not knowing what to do. Somebody's so far disconnected from them that they're like, oh, they can't possibly be doing the right things. I've got to tell them, right? Like, I've got to be there to tell them exactly what to do. Otherwise, I'm not doing my job. And it's like, dude, like, calm down. This is not a moral failing. There's no problem. Just shift your way of working, right? Shift your understanding of what your work is, basically. The truth is, I guarantee you, good managers, they haven't changed. They haven't changed before and after. You'll notice, actually, somebody who actually understands work from home and understands how to sort of like work within these disparate systems, right? Of being there in person and not being there in person, you'll notice no shift in how they work. All you simply notice is that they do things on a different platform. Instead of being face-to-face, they talk to you in person. That's it. Instead of being face-to-face, they talk to you on like a Zoom call or something. And that's it. Vo dummy mask. And really, that's all there is to it. It's just shifting your perception of it and understanding that a lot of your methods stay the exact same. It's just the platforms that you use, the way you talk to people. It may be kind of painful, but at the same time, it's like, is it really that painful? Probably not. Another thing that I want to talk about, Diablo 2 Resurrected. This is a weird topic. It's weird. I, you know, it's a remake of Diablo 2, and I didn't realize, but way back then, there used to be a modder called Brother Laz. Okay, he's a really interesting person in the scene because oh god, I forgot the eye holes. Oh no, I forgot the eye holes. Like it works, but like I don't have space for me. But basically, he's a well-known modder in the space who is very OG. He's like the guy who built a lot of the most popular mods in that game, basically, in Diablo 2. Median XL. He apparently got the okay to make mods in Diablo 2 Resurrected. In fact, everyone did. I didn't know this. This is like weird game dev related stuff. The modding terms of Diablo 2 Resurrected are, yeah, go ahead. The only thing that they don't allow is reverse engineering, obviously, because it's the software is a bit of a weird case where you can't open the box, and even if you understand it, you can't do anything with it. Even though a lot of things that you can do with it are kind of like you have to open the box, you know. You open the box, we came. And I thought that was really cool to see someone who's been in the modding space for a long time. Like they worked on Path of Exile, they worked on a lot of things. And they're still doing things. Even to this day, I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. That's really, really cool. I'm very excited to see how the project turns out. From their mod progress site, seems like they ran into troubles in the family, so hopefully things are okay there. Hopefully things are well. It is trying times for us all. And again, I did get a new little video, so before we start the Zelda stream, I'll be playing a little bit of it. In fact, I'll play it now, actually. Right as I finish this, like, mask. I just need to figure out where to put my mouth now. I do really like this line at the top, so maybe I'm going to keep that line. I just now need to see if this is the perfect place to put this. Because again, it's gonna have to line up basically perfectly. This is going to look weird. Very weird. Let me cut this whole section there. There we go. So my mouth is massive on my actual like model. Which again, you may notice my model is very poorly drawn. That's not really intentional. I just kind of suck at drawing. So I just kind of did it like that. And it kind of works, you know? I just said, fuck. Forget it. I'll stay as a stick figure. Less problems, less stress, less needing to sort of be a specific look. This just works. Aw, yeah. Aw, yeah. No, that's what I'm talking about. That's Scuff Central. Now that's scuffed. That's beautifully scuffed. This is like extremely scuffed. This is like it's superbly scuffed. Wow. Now, as per waiting room tradition, we do a lot here. Okay, we do a lot of things to do. We're gonna go very, very soon into Zelda. But I want to play a bit of the this little video here. It's a new video of mine. Cause I noticed that like waiting room VLC source? I don't know what the hell this is. Huh? Really? Wait, this just has VLC inside? What the? That's actually insane. Wow. But what am I trying to say? There's a new video that I made because I was exploring Hyrule. I really liked Hyrule. Like a lot. A lot. I thought it to be very, very nice looking. So I said, you know, why not explore it more? Why not explore some Hyrule? From that came this. Okay, that is the worst thing I've ever. This source is awful. Wait, sorry, this is a terrible source. I'm just gonna play the correct source here, like an actual good source. Like why waiting room VLC capture? Like what? Ooh, that was awful. That was disgustingly awful. That was actually terrible. My God. Here's the good shit. Like the actual good shit. Like that was disgusting. Here. This is good. Here's the good shit. Whoa. An exploration of Hyrule. Just a peek into sort of like the beauty of Hyrule. So you can see the link in the chat. So please do check it out. It's a fun little video. I thought it'd be a great way to start the segment and go into the actual game itself. Again, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Just gonna double check some things, make sure things are good. For now, I leave you with this.